Good afternoon, everyone. We are the first group, and we are here to present our company, Natura. So the following will be the objectives of this presentation. First will be the brief description of the company, then the programs, steps, or initiatives that Natura is taking to address climate change and also to mitigate climate change. Then we identify a company in our locality that is utilizing one of the programs that will be discussed later. And lastly, we have the general summary of our presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's start first with a brief description about the Natura company. Natura company is actually a cosmetics company founded by Antonio Luis da Cunha Sibra and Guillermo Piraulel. Not really sure if I pronounced your names correctly, but yeah, they founded it in year 1969. And this company's product includes deodorants, sunscreens, lotions, creams, lipsticks, and perfumes. And they promote itself as an environmentally conscious. And Natura is a long-term business using natural products, and they are working towards a sustainable environment. So, sustainable development has been at the heart of Natura's efforts, and one of their commitments is climate protection, where in fact the Natura is a pioneer sustainable development. It has been 100% carbon neutral since 2007, and and the United Nations organization, or UNO, recognized Natura with its 2019 UN Global Climate Action Award, and they received this UNO award for the second time as a leading player worldwide in the combat against climate change. Here, as you can see that it's the associated brands of Natura and Co. And first is the Avon. In here, the creator had a very strong belief in women's rights and acting upon on gender equality. And this brand focuses more on beauty and skincare products. So they help in reducing our environmental footprint through our approach to product design such as packaging and formulations. And next is the Aesop. So in here, the creator is more obsessed with the quality. That's why seeing their products, you would see a long list of ingredients. And the brand itself is focusing on providing skin, hair, and body care that is produced in top quality. And they help the environment by increasing transparency and ensuring ethical and sustainable sourcing of materials. They take climate action by measuring and reducing operational emissions. And lastly is the Body Shop. So this brand focuses on body care, cosmetics that is produced sustainably and ethically. The way they help the environment is sustainability, which is one of their core values in terms of recycling, refilling, and outsourcing ingredients as sustainable as possible. And the creator for this company had this strong belief of a business that could be a driving force for something good. Thus, these three brands associated with Natura have this drive and belief to create a positive impact to the world, especially to the environment. And at the same time, these three companies also are being innovative enough to make use of materials sustainably. They all have, they all give importance to the environment other than just business. Now, here is the programs or steps or initiatives taken by the Natura company in addressing climate change. So first is their commitment to zero emission by 2050. The Natura is measuring and reducing emissions across its value chain, starting from the extraction of raw materials up until their production and distribution. And they also measures and reduces the post-consumption impacts of their products. And to help compensate for the emissions that Natura cannot avoid, the company has supported 38 projects with social, environmental, and climate positive impacts. And a few key facts that proves that Natura is trying to lessen their emission is that from 2007 to 2013, Natura reduced its carbon emission by 33%. And as part of its carbon neutral program, Natura also has offset 3.4 million tons of carbon emission, reclaimed or maintained 7,593 hectares of forest, and generated 1,125 gigawatts of renewable energy. And second is protecting or promoting biodiversity in Amazon, stepping up its actions to protect the Amazon by building on Natura's over 20 years experience in the region. They currently preserves 1.8 million hectares of land, which an area equivalent to half of the Netherlands. And the group will aim to contribute to the preservation of 3 million hectares by 2030. This company fosters collective efforts to ensure zero deforestation of the Amazon by 2025. And in 2018, Natura has started using packaging that is 100% recycled PET or PET, and by using organic alcohol in their formulas, Natura claims to have increased the water levels in local streams by 30%. And third is the Carbon Neutral Program. This program was initiated in 2007, and it neutralized all the greenhouse gas emissions caused by the company's activities.
Natura also has programs that could help mitigate the effects of climate change. Natura claims that they are going 100% carbon neutral in producing their products since 2007. They claim that all carbon emissions related to manufacturing, transportation, and storage are strictly monitored. This is why Natura prefers sea or river transportation, since according to them, it is less carbon intensive. They also work with Colissimo, also a carbon neutral company, for their transactions in France. As part of their commitment to sustainable development, Natura also claims that they reduce waste by using recycled materials and green plastic for packaging. They have used recycled materials for the past several years, which require fewer resources to manufacture, while avoiding waste buildup. They also use green plastics, which are made of sugarcane instead of from petrochemicals. According to them, this type of plastic is completely recyclable, has a positive carbon balance, and is not derived from petrochemicals, since they would come from ethanol, which is extracted from the sugar cane. Natura also claims that they have sold refills for their face moisturizing products, which is generally cheaper to sell while minimizing waste. Natura has also done some science and technological innovations. As early as 2004, the company has started their work and research in the Natura Amazonia Innovation Nucleus, which involves a diligent team of researchers who are engaged in bioprospecting Amazonian species that checks the compatibility of incorporating new bioactive ingredients in the formulation of their products. This is a great way of mitigating the effects of climate change on behalf of their business, since it ensures that the conservation of species is first on their priority, since they are professional in handling their business in the Amazon forest when searching for new ingredients, since they make sure that they do not damage the forest biodiversity in the process. In addition to this, in 2019, they received a pilot biorefinery in which the objective is to help accelerate the research of the Amazonian oils and extracts to lessen the effects of carbon footprints. And this is all because of the new innovations the company made to continue their business and at the same time preserve biodiversity. One of Natura's initiatives in mitigating the effects of climate change would be preserving the social biodiversity production chains. In 2019, they have increased the number of families which have relation within the Amazon region from 4,636 to 5,136, in which all of them are located in Brazil. This proves that Natura cares about the relationship people have with the biodiversity and preservation of one of the important things created by nature, in order to help mitigate climate change, which are the forests. For 2 decades, they have been fostering social inclusion and generating work and income for these populations, and in return, these people help maintain the quality of the Amazon forest as a form of respecting and valuing the ethical guidelines indigenous people have with their home. The company has also helped in a lot of ways to the community, especially during the COVID-19 crisis.
The fourth objective is to identify a local company that is also using one of those programs or steps or initiatives. And that company is Human Nature. But before we get into those similarities as Natura in fighting climate change, let me give you a brief background of what sort of company Human Nature is. Human Nature is the first range of highly affordable and genuinely natural products in the Philippines. The company is envisioned by their primary goal, which is to use business to build a better Filipino society by operating sustainable business that primarily benefits our country. The company was founded on three core principles: pro-Philippines, pro-poor, and pro-environment. They use ingredients which can be grown here in the Philippines and partner with farmers and local communities to create their products. They also make sure they use natural and organic materials that are free from harmful chemicals that may seep back to our soil and water. Their products include personal, home, and family care products. And for the actions taken, there are three, which are pro-environment, uses recyclable bottles, and animal cruelty-free. For pro-environment, as stewards of nature, the company takes the responsibility seriously. They carefully deliberate the impact of all their business decisions on the environment. The company uses natural, organic ingredients and promotes organic farming. All their raw materials are thoroughly researched to ensure that they are naturally derived, biodegradable, and are not processed using environmentally toxic processes and do not become toxic or harmful when released into the environment after using the product or washing it off. Human Nature is a member of Natural Products Association, NPA, world's largest non-profit organization dedicated to natural manufacturing, and the company strictly adheres to organization, environmental, and safety principle. And for the uses of recyclable bottles, Human Nature uses recyclable bottles on their packaging to minimize contribution to the country's overburdened landfills. What's even better is that Human Nature containers are from PET. I don't know if my pronunciation is right, but it's polyethylene terephthalate, which is the most recycled type of plastic in the world. Human Nature has this Balik Bote Bigay Buhay program. Through this project, Human Nature branches accept all type of PET bottles, not just Human Nature one, which are then turned over to nearby junk shop to be recycled so that plastic bottles will not end up in our seas or landfills. In partnership with Geocycle, Human Nature bottles are transformed to alternative fuels for cement manufacturing to contribute to a circular economy. For Metro Manila branches, they have a Sining Bote recycle program in partnership with Museo Pambata, where turnover bottles are up-recycled for different arts and craft activities. The company is also planning to have a biodegradable packaging in the future. They have developments for plant-based bottles for local supplier and have plans to launch more environmental-friendly packaging for their products. And lastly, for the animal cruelty-free. Human Nature is the first and only Filipino company to have signed PETA's Statement of Assurance Against Animal Testing. People of the Ethical Treatment for Animals, or PETA, is the largest animal rights organization in the world. It focuses its attention on the four areas in which the largest number of animals suffered the most intensely for the longest period of time: on factory farms, on the clothing trade, in laboratories, and in the entertainment industry. In 2011, PETA Asia Pacific awarded Human Nature with a cruelty-free certificate in recognition of their policy against animal testing and their focus on environmental stewardship. They do not test their products on animals, rather they test them on themselves. They do not use carmine, a cosmetic ingredient made from crushed body of Phimococchinea insect that are used for vivid red and bright pink colors. The company produces cruelty-free product not just for humans but for animals as well. And the last objective of our report is a summary. Natura is a cosmetic and skincare brand under the company Nature & Go, headed by Antonio Luis de Cunca Sibra and Guillermo Piero Lil in Sao Paulo, Brazil. There are 3 other brands under Natura Co., namely Avon, Aesop, and a body shop with similar goals to positive impact. In 2017, Natura launches its carbon neutral program to measure, reduce, and offset its greenhouse gas emissions. Human Nature Company is the only local company we have found that takes similar initiatives as Natura in fighting climate change.